Something in the wall. Righto. It's the Three Amigos tonight. We've got two rather good-looking fellas and myself. Good evening, Dave. Nice to see you, Michael. Yeah, as always, I just want to explain to Jesus Jones. He's put a comment out. He says, "Where was you last week?" Last week I was looking and checking out a dog, and she's coming home here tomorrow. Big Rottweiler that we're rescuing. I can't say too much about it, so I don't want to. But yes, I'm getting this Rottweiler tomorrow. She's a few months old, so I'm looking forward to that. So I do apologise, I couldn't get back in time. I was stuck over the other side of the country, so I tried to get home, but alas, no comprende, no cigar.
I already got one. She's called Lisa. She was 50 this year.
Who's 50?
My Rottweiler.
50? Oh, bless her.
15? 15?
50.
Hang on a second. When we say Rottweiler, we're talking about wives or girlfriends.
Hang on, one at a time.
Wives and girlfriends, are we? Wives and girlfriends. We're not talking about wives and girlfriends, are we?
Are you in an echo chamber, Mike?
No. My mate calls his wife a Rottweiler. But there you go. Really does. She looks like one, come to think of it. But
my one fucking acts like one.
Rottweilers, I've had two Rotties. I've had two. They're the best breed, man. They're so clever, loving. And the thing is, they get such a bad press. It's not right.
It's the owners, mate. I had two called, one called Zeus, one called Prada, brother and sister. Absolutely diamond. Absolute diamond.
You had a couple of crackers, didn't you?
I had. Hang on.
They're no longer with us now, bless them. They're in the playground in the sky.
It's not nice when they leave us, but
no.
You're not thinking of buying a boat, are you? Because everybody on here is buying boats. What, are you? Are you
fuck that. That's all Royal Navy bollocks. I like to keep my feet on terra firma. Funny enough, there's a fellow I know, one of our ex-battalion veteran, and he's out on a cruise. And he just done a post yesterday going over the North Atlantic. It's like fucking Thorpe Park.
There you go.
That was Martu.
Yeah. Lovely. Good-natured dogs they are.
Miss them like crazy. We've got Matty Everard's in the house. Look at that lazy smiler in bed. Hello, darling. Very nice to see you too. What a beautiful time to be alive. Good evening, people, says Frank McEaron. Couldn't agree more with you, Frank. It is good times. Cockney Patriots going, fuck that. I want to tell you a story about Cockney Patriot yesterday as well. He stood up and was counted. He had a bailiff or something with regards to Virgin Media, the Richard Branson, the Jeffrey Epstein Island funded thing. And he said to this bailiff, mate, he said, if you come here, he said, one of us is going to go out dead. He said, I'm fucked off with you lot. He said, that's how it's going to be now. And the bailiff went, don't panic, I'm returning the case. He sent him.
Well done,
well done. And so fair play. And he says, where's all the men in this country? And I said, well, I don't know, but they're going to turn out soon, I'm pretty sure. Mikey, I know you love the politics and you'll be probably wanting to talk about Liz Truss. And what do you make of this?
Before we go into all that, because that's about to come up, I was talking about swiftly talk about the forces. Then, I mean, how awful is it that they've got half a dozen RAF fighter pilots teaching the Chinese Communist Party how to fight our planes and helicopters?
No, how to fly their planes and helicopters.
Yeah, how to defeat them in battle. Our tactics.
240,000 a fucking year, mate. The RAF weren't paying them fucking 50 grand a fucking year.
That's not the point, is it? I mean,
Yeah, it fucking is. That's just the point, Mike. It's to do with that, mate. Once people get that in their fucking noggins, mate, it's to do with the fucking pound notes.
Traitors. They're still traitors. I wouldn't have back the country.
Because they're fucking teaching somebody else to fly a fucking plane. Give me a fucking.
No, they're teaching us how to defeat out. They're teaching us
how to defeat the Chinese. Are going to fly them over here any fucking day soon.
Well, I mean, the Chinese are coming in anyway because look what they've done in Manchester. Dragged the guy into their compound, beat the fuck out of him, and then the police had to go and get him out. And what have we done about it? We called their charge d'affaires to say, now that's a bit naughty, isn't it? They're fucking
we was watching that.
People.
There was a few of us watching that.
If we're going to be attacked, if we're going to be attacked by the Chinese Air Force, I'll probably buy one of them Chinese rubber dolls online and have a bit of fun.
Where they're going to buy them from? Fucking Wish.
Well, I mean, the thing's mostly like most things Chinese, it don't last anyway. Just like when you have a Chinese meal, wouldn't it? Have a Chinese meal, hour later you're hungry.
Can you imagine one of them making it fucking here, mate? Honestly.
Michael, there's one rule in life, right? Never pick on the Chinese. Never pick on Bruce Lee because he's fucking
He's dead. He's dead. Bruce Lee's. He's dead.
Got to watch all that. Got to watch it all.
If your local restaurants watching this, Michael, they'll be fucking doing stuff.
I'll never get a chow mein again.
Chow mein on Friday.
Yeah, I won't get no chow gobbing in it. Yeah, I love a
chow mein and a sweet and sour sauce. Let me tell you.
I mean, the thing is, it comes right back to who we let in the fucking country anyway, doesn't it? Because who we're letting in the scumbags. I mean, these are the sort of people, I was reading it yesterday, that they're chucking, or today in the Telegraph, they're chucking babies from their boats in the channel onto the boats, like 10 foot, chucking babies. Rescue the baby, throwing it from one boat to another. What the fuck? What is this?
Mike,
they'll run out of a fucking window, didn't he?
Will it end up being an Olympic event? Do you reckon?
Baby chucking, yeah. How far you chuck this kid? I mean, all aside though, that is pretty fucking grim.
Where's social services with that then? Why are they not out in the channel swimming? You can't do that to a baby.
Can you
can't
see Sonia,
do that to a baby?
Can you see Sonia Ballard's comment?
What's she saying?
For some reason, you are not live on Wake Up.
Oh, hang on.
And to be honest with you, there's no chat on Wake Up either. Just to let you know.
Hang on.
You're having a fucking shit. Come on, Mike. Wake up, mate. Fuck you.
Not me. It's Dave.
Right. Hang on. Try that now. Try that. It obviously didn't tick a box. We're in there now. Sorry about that, people. We've lost the first 10 minutes, but I'm glad. I only done that to see if you're all paying attention.
Yes, I watch the chat, mate. Unlike you.
I'm watching the chat. I'm commenting on the chat right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're just sticking them up. You're just clicking a button, mate.
Yeah, he's a button clicker. That's his speciality. That's what he does. You know, he's good with his nuts, isn't you?
I'll try my hardest.
I've got to tell you, I mean, the things they're talking about.
Hey, Ivan Cockney Patriots on you now. Come on, production team, sort yourself out.
We've all. I mean, as far as it's a fucking nightmare. This country. I mean, where is there? Where is there? If you left this country to go somewhere safe, where would you go? And there's only one country. A friend of mine just come back, Reykjavik in Iceland.
Oh yeah, it's fucking cold, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the Icelandic people are fabulous, but Reykjavik's a shithole because there's fuck all there.
I couldn't live on fucking walls, mate. Could you?
Mike, are you aware of what happened in Iceland about 10 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a volcano. It's always
no. What right? So there was a gay guy called Gunther. Can't think of his last name. He was actually German, but he started to rally people together in Iceland, and he developed and started the pots and pan movement, right? What they did every week, he used to go and speak, I think, outside the town hall or something like that, and he asked everyone to wear something pink tie, pink wristband, pink jumper, pink hat, whatever. That way he knew that you was tuning into what he was asking for and you was watching and listening to him. But basically, he started this movement, and what they did, they surrounded their parliament with pots and pans, and they drummed until the politicians left. They emptied that parliament. They then filled that parliament with decent Icelandic people, and they rewrote their constitution, and that was their revolution. Right now, this has already happened in Iceland of a population of 500,000. Now, what happened was,
we need to get
when that
down to
revolution
Robert
happened. Right, yeah. Well, yeah, why not? As long as you don't get one that fits the size of your head and get stuck on. But the guy that arranged it all, Gunter, when this happened and the people took back, they rewrote their constitution, they got rid of all that debt. They said, no, we're not having this no more. We're coming back to being a sovereign people. He actually said, right, people, we've done it. There's your country back. And he actually went back to Germany. So he did it out of the goodness of his own heart. But that is the power. They surrounded that building one day with pots and pans. They drummed so loud. Get out, get out, get out. And every single politician in that parliament building left and they went, get your country back. And the Icelandic people took their country back. That's why your story just telling that Iceland is a fabulous place.
Well, we could do it over here. We could do it with Cantor, Carlin and Stella, couldn't we? Because they've always got loads of them with them on here, on ours, haven't they?
Yeah, there's a rider to that though, Dave, because what the government did recently, they changed the law, which means you cannot make a lot of noise outside of Parliament. You cannot, like the guy who was pro EU with the big foghorn, who was there for years. They've actually took it away from him and they shut him up basically, and that's now law that you cannot make a lot of noise.
The Bill of Rights, which is established. The Bill of Rights is established and settled law. Hang on, whoa. The established settled law of the Bill of Rights says that the law is the birthright of the people. We, the people, make the law, not Parliament. The birthright of the people, that's who the law is.
Yeah, but Aurora what the idea, mate. Fucking pie and mash revolution. I tell you what,
pie and mash revolution.
We're all up for it.
Pie and mash me and my Michael
we're all invited. Aurora Storm, yeah, is that? I don't know. It's a man. See, is that a man or a woman?
It's like interference, isn't it?
I mean, I identify as Mike Reynolds. I mean, that's it. There's no pronouns other than oi and watcher. You know, I mean, that's my oi. You know, that's my pronoun. But I mean, the pie and mash revolution. I reckon all of us, whoever the core people on here, should all go up and have pie and mash. Yeah, no liquor, not Matt. Matt is liquor. Yeah, get real, Matt. That's liquor, mate.
Gravy.
Listen, Michael asked for gravy on Saturday. We was driving back to Islington Saturday. I was dropping my Michael back, and he said, "Dave, do you fancy something to eat?" I said, "Do you know what, Mike? I'd love a pie and mash." Anyway, he gets on the old Google like you do, and there was one in SW15 on the. We had to go a little half a mile out of the way, and anyway, we went in there, and Michael, being Michael, the fucking younger generation, he said, "Can I have one pie, one mash?" Liquor, one pie, one mash gravy. And she straight away she went, "We got one once gravy," and the builders went straight on him. He got slated, coated, mate.
Gravy.
Yeah, rightly.
So.
Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to be doing it. We're supposed to be doing it in whenever it went soon as, aren't we? Going out for a pie.
Let's go. Let's have a little pre-Christmas pie mash. How's about that?
Yeah, we keep on about it, mate.
Alan, please finish your bathroom, Dave.
Say again, over.
I should be there about another 6-7 days. About 6 days, I reckon. 6-7 days working days, I'll be there.
Begin in November then.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll go. And if anyone in the chat room or whoever's watching wants to come and have pie, we'll announce it. We'll probably fill the place up.
One called Absties, it was fucking blinding, mate. Proper old school, massive gaff.
Really? Well, yeah. There's a couple. There's the one we went to in Towerbridge Road, Manses. Then you've got Armits in Walworth Road, just up in Westmoreland Road.
Armits, that's the one. Armits.
That's what it was. That's in Walworth. No, that's
Hang on, lads. Listen, I'm here. I'm listening to the pair of you trying to talk over one another, and it is garbage. You've got to one at a time, please. That's
Armits is in Walworth.
Like that.
Armits is in Walworth. It's in Walworth. Just in Westmoreland Road, just off.
That's right.
In Westmoreland Road, just anyway, off Walworth Road, not far from the Elephant. And so, yeah, bring your own pie. Well, Jesus is obviously a cheapskate. I mean, spear thrower can't come because he's too far. No, but there you go. You have to get a train. No, you get a train down. But there you go.
What's
I mean, that's
Spear
his
talking about? Seeing a lot of black lights.
Yeah, did you see what
Keir
Sturgis come up with the classic? He said, when we get back into power, we're going to repeal all the union laws to stop so they can have as many strikes as they like, basically. So all the strike laws that stop them doing that, it's all going to be repealed, and they can strike when they like. It's back to the Wilson days. You don't remember it, the beer and sandwiches. That's what they used to do. It's quite beer. So the unions used to go around to number 10, tell the government what they wanted, and the government used to acquiesce to what they so the country would get along. And that's what fucked the country. It ruined the docks, ruined the mines, ruined the car industry. It ruined everything. Everybody wanted more and more and more. In the end, the docks in London, as we know, went. They finished it all up. The docks, the Pool of London went. Anybody who doesn't know what the Pool of London is, the Pool of London is you've got London Bridge, and before you've got Tower Bridge. The Pool of London was after through Tower Bridge, and you couldn't go any further than London Bridge. And there was all docks along there. In fact, when Churchill died, all those cranes dipped their jibs. Anyway, so that was the Pool. That was the Pool of London. But all that went. All the Royal Docks went. The Millwall Docks. The last ones to go was Surrey Docks, and now went down to Tilbury and went containerised. But that was through Jack Dash and the miners and the dockers wanted more and more and more and more money, and that was ours. I mean, my dad is a truck driver in those years. He used to go over to the Royal Docks and he'd drop a trailer. Then it took him 3 days to load it because of the union procedures. It was the most appalling place.
Is that a euphemism for going? Is that a euphemism for going to the toilet? Drop a trailer.
Oh, that's really that's unkind. You see, you have to be uncouth, don't you? No, but I mean, it really was. I remember.
Come on, you liar.
Well, they won last night, didn't they, Millwall? Spurs got beat, but I mean that's it's pretty. Jesus, you Lions, but it's awful. It's an awful thing to think that if we were to go back. We're back to Red Ken, who tried to destroy British Leyland. And it was only Sir Michael Edwards who came in and took the unions on and broke the unions by standing up to them. And Michael Edwards was a South African guy. But he really did a good job. And that's what saved British Leyland. Didn't save it completely because obviously it went tits up, but it was all broken up. But it's the most appalling thing to think that we might have those people back in power. Like Mick Lynch. Now, Mick Lynch is a very clever guy. You've got to take your hat off to him. He knows his stuff and he's very clever. I'm only working for my work. No, he's not. He's working to change the constitution, trying to change the way the country runs to suit the unions and give the unions back the power. We can do what we like. We'll stop this. We'll stop that. Well, this government, at least haven't given in to them. So basically, what you've got is an impasse. So Keir Sturgis has decided, wouldn't it be wonderful we get rid of her and all the unions be on their side and give us more money? And that's it. So then we have a communist country. We're back to social. And then they fuck it up. And after 4 or 5 years, the Conservatives have to come back and sort it all out. But having said that too, look what they've done in the last 2 years. Look what they've done now. I mean, but you've got to blame this government and governments around the world for destroying the world economies. I mean, what they've actually done, they've done what the WF couldn't do. They've taken away everything we had, and it's now build back better. Let's have build back better. Cars. If you had a flat, if you're 16 floors up in a flat or 8 floors up in a flat, you can't have a car because you need an electric car. You'll have nowhere to charge it. And if you don't know where to charge it, you can't have a car.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say one thing. This is my show, but it's not. It's our show. And I do loads of live streams, so I'm more than happy for Mike and Dave to come in and say whatever they want to say.
Just saying. Just horrible. I've just given a history lesson about what the unions are. People think it's great. I believe in unions. I think they're great. I mean, I really do. But having said that, they're there to protect the workers' rights. Absolutely right. You want someone to speak for you if you've got a grievance. But they're not there to tell the country how to run. And we want more our members out. No, they don't. They want to take away the power of the government so they can run it themselves.
Yeah. Well,
I think,
industry's good. People's creative ability is fabulous, but I simply want the rule of law back. I want the government and everyone in the crown restrained, and everyone's equal. So no one's got any more rights than the worker, no policeman, no court, no dodgy courts. Everyone's constrained by the rule of law and subject to it. And that's really the only change I think the people ought to be seeking, because at the moment we're certainly not all equal before the law, mate. We certainly ain't. And we've got to remedy that. And I think only the people are going to remedy that. At some point, it's got to come. And the political system, it's pulling itself to pieces right now. So, but that's more your gravy,
right,
Mike. And
they're all wankers. That's right. That's what pulling themselves to pieces means. But I mean, there is no a utopian society doesn't work. You can't have this unrealistic attitude that you know from Monday you get up, you go to work, you come home, you go to bed, you get up, and on Sunday you get a day off. You know, and that's how it is. And everywhere lives in little cities, and you know, they're all self-contained. You go on holiday there, you go out there, you marry there, you die there, and everything. That's a utopian society, and it doesn't work. It can't work because people are adventurous. They want to travel, they want to see other stuff, and that's what makes us what we are. These intrepid explorers, mostly. You know, that's why we go in different countries, not necessarily to go and look at the ancient ruins, but to go and taste the ancient different beers there. You know, go and try what chips taste like in Spain or Portugal, wherever they want to go. You know,
I love that.
That's their trip down to the history of the country, what the chips taste like. But I mean, it really is time that we did get rid of what we've got and replace it with a way of government that doesn't involve.
Just bring it back constitutional, Mike. Just bring it back constitutional. Make sure that everyone's restrained via the rule of law and constitution. Look, we've had it for thousands of bloody years. It's not a new concept. It's not dangerous. It works. And if you've got a parliament and parliamentarians that are constrained by the rule of law and literally they can't do anything outside it, we become a fabulous nation again. And that's all that needs to happen. It really does.
Dave, the majority of people in Parliament are either too old or they're career politicians. They've never had a job. They don't know what it's like. You run a business, Swifty, you run a business, I run a business, right? We've all run businesses. We all know what it's like to find money to pay people and know what it's like. You have to sack someone, put them out of work. You have to understand law. You have to understand accounts. You have to understand sales. You have to understand PR. You have to understand everything you need to know to run a business. You know, and I did. I had 20 odd people working for me.
But that's the business world. That's the business world, which is fine. Commerce is fine, but law and parliamentarians should deal with morality and what is good for a nation. But because we've let the bankers get in there you go. But what I'm saying is, originally, when they were all restrained by the rule of law, if they committed a crime against an individual, then that was a different story. These people were held accountable. You can't hold anybody accountable unless you're very lucky and you're clever and you know exactly what you're doing and you do money claims online or a claim. You can't hold these people. They've washed their hands of everyone. It's like you go and speak to the DVLA. You ask them certain poignant questions and then they shut up shop and then they just don't reply to you anymore. It's that to me is a master servant relationship, and that's not what makes it work.
17 months ago, 17 months, I phoned up. I finally got through to DWP. I said, I think because I'm an old age pensioner, I said, darling. And
never.
I said, yeah, absolutely. Awful, yeah.
Can't believe it.
Still got my teeth, though. I still got my teeth in the air, you know. So I phoned them up. I said, can you tell me, is my pension right? They said, don't worry, we'll call you. We'll get back to you directly. Last week, I got a letter from them. Yeah, we've overpaid you £2 a month. So, and that was 17 months ago. 17 months ago, I wrote and asked them and they just got back to me. So there you go. That's our government. That's the government. And I have to say, getting back to the point we're making, is that people who are in Parliament and haven't got a clue what they're doing, they sit there and looking rather pleased themselves. Look at us. We're in a club that you paid for, but you're not allowed to come in. You can't come in here. Why not? Why can't I? We go back to the same old thing. Why can't I walk up Downing Street? That's not a private road. All it is, it's been gated for security. Who's a security against me? Well, and Swifty, who
Why then, Mike?
was in the army, in the armed forces, fought for this country, stood up for it. Why should Swifty there, who wore the uniform and took an oath to the Queen, right? Why should he not be allowed to walk up?
That's all in the past, mate. That's all.
Yeah, but why should you not be allowed to walk up?
You've got to deal with the here and now, Mike.
Yeah, but I'm saying the point I'm making is why can't you walk up Downing Street?
I don't fucking want to, for number one.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. But if you wanted to, you can't.
Number two, the reason why those gates are there is because there's fucking lunatics about, mate.
Dave, Swifty, there's been lunatics about.
But why are you so fixated about walking up a fucking fucking tarmac?
The point I'm making.
Because you can't.
No, it's not about you can't. It's about it is, but it isn't. The point I'm making is we are not. We are a free. I'm a free Englishman. We're all free, right? Yeah. But are we? Are we free? No, we're not. Because we're governed by stupid laws. Like
what can't you do then, Mike, that ain't free, apart from walk up fucking Downing Street?
What do you think? What do you mean?
What do you want to do that you're not free to do? What is it? What, you can't travel? Or I don't know. What is it?
Well, I can't go.
I've got a message.
What would make your life right now? They said, you know what? Listen, Mike, here comes the magical wizard with his wand. There's something you can't do that's not free. Even would walk up Downing Street, fucking that'd sort you out, would it? You'd be happy then?
No, not at all.
Oh, right, so you're still not happy?
No.
So what else? Go on then. Have you got a fucking list? How long is it?
Well, as long as you want. We talk about it every weekend. Dave will tell you the same thing. We talk about it.
What is it that you can't do that you're not free to do, Mike? What is it?
The freedom to be an Englishman, to have the country I was born in, mine, not given away to other people. That's one thing I'd rather have back. I don't want to share the country with people who don't contribute to it, and we are forced to take people in we don't want. We are forced to do stuff. We are forced by law to pay taxes for people we shouldn't be supported. We are forced by law to lose all the things my birthright gave me. My birthright gave me I was born a free Englishman. I'm not a free Englishman in my own country. Because there's too many fucking restrictions put upon us to stop us being there. In fact, they're doing everything to get rid of the English.
Restrictions where? You keep saying restrictions to do fucking. What is it that you need to do that you
can't? Well, we just spoke about it. Dave was talking about the coronation. No, they're talking about the Bill of Rights. We go to court and start quoting the Bill of Rights, they fucking put you in prison. They show you contempt. They tie you up with legalese. That's
none of that for myself. Excuse my ignorance, Mike. None of that fucking brings any value to my personal life. When I say value, I mean something that's fucking useful for me and my family. It doesn't.
Really? So, right. So why do you? You're called the gracious man, right? You sit there and what's the point of what you do when you do your program? What is it you do? Do you just sit and go like that?
No, the reason why I'll tell you why we do our Loquacious Live. As soon as you asked, and you seem to be so interested, we do it because there's a lot of people that come onto the lives, not on the lives like this, but within the chat, that are single people. They got no one to talk to. They got no one to discuss stuff with. Some of them are very fucking depressed, you know what I mean, within their general lives. And it gives them an hour, 3 times a week, which is only 3 hours a week, to come somewhere and have their views read out and discussed. And rather than sit and watch that TV when they're saying whatever they are on the news or whatever program they're watching, it gives them somewhere where they can discuss it with other people. Nothing else.
What is it they're discussing then? I mean, you talk about what is it I can't do. There's loads of things that you can't do because you're governed by law.
You just come up. Listen, Mike, you can do that, live your life however you like, obviously.
No, you can't. You can't live your life.
You're free to say I can't do anything, aren't you?
That is I can't do anything. I said there's a lot of restrictions put on us that shouldn't be there. They're not giving us.
You fucking name them, Mike.
They're just sitting there talking about it. We're just talking about the Bill of Rights.
You want the Bill of Rights?
No, I'd like to have the country I was born in. I'd like to have the country I was born in, not the country I have this right now. Been taken away from us bit by bit. Been given away by taxation. I've been overtaxed. I haven't been able to go spend my own. By being able to go and spend my own money the way I want to spend it.
I've never had anybody tell me how to spend my money, ever.
Really? Every day you put your hand in your pocket and you spend it, you're being told how to spend your money because you pay 37% tax on it. Plus on top of what you
the only way I can not pay 49% of the money is not to spend any money, isn't it?
40. How'd you do that? 49% of the money.
Exactly.
49% of money is what is taxed. I mean, you
But
pay
I
income
know
tax.
every pound I spend, I'm lucky if I get 28 pence, 27 pence out of it. I
If
do
you're lucky, yeah.
understand that.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got inflation on top of that.
What do you want me to do about that? What can I do about that myself?
What? There's nothing we can do about it. That's the thing.
So why fucking bother about something there's fucking nothing you can do about?
You just asked me the question. You just asked me the question. You said, what is it I can't do? What I can't do, I've got no say in how my money's spent, other than the fact I put a tick on the box every 5 fucking years. Okay, that's what I can't do. I can't change anything.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to do anything. I'm not allowed to do anything. I'm not allowed to say anything. I'm shouted down if I say anything. Go speak this corner. I say I'm a Christian. You get fucking dragged off by a load of Muslims want to beat the fuck out of you. Okay, that's what you can't do. They've taken away the freedom to be the person I am, and they've taken that away from me.
You want to go speak to when you want to go, I'll go up there with you. So
hang on. In this societal structure, you don't have freedom. You have benefits and privileges. A driving is a privilege. It's defined in the law dictionary as a privilege. One has the right to travel, natural law. And when you look at law and you go into depth and you dig into the word persons, everyone has this issue with persons, whether it's a good issue or a bad. But there are different classes of persons. There's natural persons, there's artificial persons, there's corporate persons. McDonald's itself is a person. Marks and Spencer's is a person. The police station is a person. So in the system, you can only have benefits and privileges. These are facts, absolute facts, 100%, irrefutable. And I can back that up with all the statute and the laws.
There you are, Dave.
Driving is a.
Yeah. I'm just making the point I'm making. It's not just it's not the material things you can't have. It's all the things that are being gradually bit by bit taken away from us. Now I cannot believe, right, that we sit on a little island, okay, probably the most powerful nation that's given more to the world than any other nation on the planet. It's given it language, gave it a better system of law, gave it a monetary system. It went and educated the people in Africa, India, America, Canada, Australia, parts of China, and South America. This country was right at its tentacles right across the planet, and it had in this foreign office at one time in the 18th century 26 people working for it. Now it's 176,000 working in the foreign office. Doing what? What are they doing? They work for your benefit. Mine? No, they're not. We're not working for my benefit. How they work? What does the foreign office do? What does the Treasury do for me other than take money? What does the government? I mean, we've got an MP, and you've got an MP, right? What do they actually do for you?
What, my MP? He blocked me on his fucking email account. He blocked me.
See, that goes back to what I'm saying. That goes back to what I'm saying. They think they're up there now. When I've had chief constables block me, he might not like what I'm emailing him. He might not want to read it, but that's not the point. The point is I should have the right so that he has to listen. That's what we're banging on about. We've got a system now
that on his email, big Freddy fucking knickers. You know what I mean?
I didn't have that. Sorry,
I've got bigger fucking fish to fry than somebody who blocks me on fucking email or Facebook or anywhere else. To be honest with you.
They're curtailing free speech. I like to be able to say what I think and mean what I say.
Do. Trust me, I do, because I see him in the high street every now and then. The last time I see him, I was on a live and he bolted. Everyone see him bolt.
Well, unless you've got a set, but the end is nigh, and that's about all you got. But there is no such thing as free speech. There's no such. You cannot go up to someone and say to them.
But the majority.
I identify as a woman.
The bottom line is, Mike, the bottom line is the majority are happy to go along with whatever's happening, aren't they? The majority are, mate. That's the fucking bottom line.
No, they're not, but they do.
Yes, they fucking are, mate. Trust me.
They don't know how to do it. No. Do you think do you really think that you want your kid?
I drove last week for 1 week. I haven't done it for fucking ages, not regularly, you know what I mean? I drove for 5 days. Yeah, it was 5 days I drove for from Worthing, 20-minute drive from Worthing to Thakenham to drop my Michael off because it's on a building site. Anyway, that's by the by. the traffic that I saw, I go north up the 24 to Fakenham, just past Washington. It's not far, 20-minute drive. When I come back, and I did it, I left here about 7:15 in the morning, 20-minute drive. So I'm dropping him off by about 20 to 8, ready for his 8 o'clock to start, quarter way. I turn around and come back. When I come back the 24, every fucking morning, the road coming north where I've just come from is fucking chock-a-block, right? Those people do that every fucking day of the week. My Michael, before I started dropping him off, got on the old internet and wanted to get a train ticket to go to work, use public transport. They wanted £210 a week to go from Worthing to Haywards Heath, which I think is about 5 or 6 stops.
Yeah, ridiculous.
£210 a week, right? Yeah. He gets so that's 1 day's wages to pay the train operator, right? Yeah. People do that and fucking stand up on the fucking thing from 5 hours in the morning. So don't tell me they don't want to fucking do it, because they fucking do, Mike.
No. Hang on, Dave. Hang on, we just listen to you. Listen to the response to that is quite rude. What else can they do? What else can they do? They can't do anything. They can't.
What you could go on the fucking streets, couldn't you? You could climb a fucking tower on a fucking bridge and bring the fucking thing to a standstill.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dave. I agree with that. What I'm saying to you is, what does that do, though?
They don't do nothing, because they're fucking happy doing what they're doing. They're 9 to 5, having 2 weeks in fucking Benidorm or wherever it is, and a fucking half new fucking car on the knocker.
No, that's got nothing to do with it. That's got nothing to do with it at all. You're talking about a situation whereby it's a fait accompli.
So it's got nothing to do with the majority just roll along with it then.
There's no alternative, Dave.
No, there isn't, because there's not enough people who want the fucking alternative.
Of course there are. Of course there is. But even if you had a million saying it, that the unions have got thousands and thousands of people doing this, doing that, and the government not listening, because they're saying we pay you enough money as it is. Okay, you're getting 84,000 quid a year, a year to drive a train. 84 grand, and it's not enough. An average driver gets 65 grand.
Oh no,
okay?
My brother
People do need to pay rise.
A trainer driver.
Yeah, so there you are. So the people who do need a pay rise are people who work on in the booking office on 25 grand.
Yeah, you get 100 grand a year.
And they do need a pay rise. Yeah, they do. But the drivers don't need a pay rise. Why do you need 84,000 a year? Well, I live to 84,000.
I don't know. They pay it, mate, don't they? Because they want to charge Michael £210 a week.
I agree with you.
That's what I pay.
I agree with you. It's cheaper. It was cheaper to fly to New York and back than it was to go first class from here to Liverpool.
Yeah. You have a choice then, don't you? You know what I mean? Either go to Liverpool or go to New York. I know what I'd do.
Well, I'd rather go.
The system.
Mate, all I can say is, if there was enough people that fucking wanted it, mate, they'd be out on the streets. I can't believe, Michael. I will give you this. Right? I'll tell you what I can't believe. I can't believe people will queue in traffic for fucking 2 hours a day going to work and 2 hours a day coming home. That's 4 hours a day. I can't believe they'll stand it, but they fucking do. I can't believe people pay 9 grand a fucking year on a season ticket on a train, year in and fucking year out.
How old are you?
What they fucking do.
Swifty, how old are you?
Bottom line. As soon as you call a fucking demo, as soon as a demo's called for whatever it is, save the fucking children, whatever it is, mate, no fucker turns out.
Yeah, well, they do turn out.
We'll take them out of Parliament and we'll drag them out.
No,
fuck off, mate.
Hang on, well, hang on a sec. Hang on. No, that's nonsense. Because people do turn out in demonstrations. Yes, it is.
What are you going to do to change it? You either do something to change it, something positive, Mike, is what I'm trying to get at.
Hang on. That's the point I'm making. And no matter what you do, they won't change it. They don't change it. The only time it really got changed was when they had the poll tax riots. When Maggie Thatcher recanted on the poll tax riot, and they called it the council tax, right? So basically, the poll tax, when you think about it, was a much fairer scheme.
I was around when they did that. I thought it was a very good system myself. But the majority didn't. And they were old age pensioners who came out and went fucking mental.
I agree with you. Absolutely. I agree with it right across the board with it. What I'm saying to you is that people do go out and demonstrate. They do go out and do it. Look at the fucking not doing it now. They get up and down, sit in the middle of the road, gluing themselves.
Well, you're telling me then so many people are upset about it. Yeah. Come the next general election, which we'll have eventually in a couple of years' time. There's so many people that you reckon's upset about it. The fuckers won't go out and vote. They'll be out in their fucking droves again.
They will
cancel.
Go out.
Hang on. Well, cancel. I've got to get these points in. Cancel tax.
Yeah.
In the next month or two, if people get gleaned the information we're going to be putting out, council tax is done, finished.
I haven't paid it for
That's
over
if
fucking
people
8 years, Dave, so I don't get involved in all that.
good, and we love you for that, because we've got a them and us
I haven't
situation.
paid a TV license in fucking probably 25 years.
Good.
30 years, really.
I've never got round my head round this. How you don't pay council tax?
You just don't fucking pay.
Well, yeah,
I
that's
get to
the thing.
demand every year. I get a letter every year of the amount. Yeah, you get the bill through. That goes straight in the fucking bin. Then I get a month later or 6 weeks later when it's not paid, I get the fucking little red reminder. Then I get the threatening letter. All those have got in the bill. The threatening letter goes in the bill as well, and that's it. And then we go on to next year.
See, Dave done.
I've had twice.
Hang on. Let's do this point by point, because people at home tune in so they can get information and they can learn from this as well. So what Dave's doing by throwing it in the bin and not contracting with them is Dave's staying private.
Yeah, I ignore the private and a do with me. Stick your fucking little bills up your ass, mate.
You're staying private, and that's what we've all got to do. We give our power away when we sign things and verbalise. We shouldn't be doing it.
I've had two in 8 years or just over. I've had 2 letters saying we're taking you to court. Right. The first one I got would have been about 4, maybe 5 years ago. We're taking you to court, Worthing Magistrates Court, blah blah blah. I went in there. I went to the court, and they take you into a little side room, not into the court. The council.
It's called a bull arena. It's called a bull arena. They call them bull arena.
Fucking office.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to explain. They're called bull arenas. They're high.
You can call it what you fucking like, mate. I call it a little office. Yeah, it's a little room about the size of this bedroom. Right? Okay, the little fucking side room as you go in. It's on the right hand side as you go up Worthing Magistrates Court. Anyway, so he says, Mr. Swift said, yeah. He said, about the council tax. I said, yeah. He said, I'll have a word with you in here before we go in the courtroom. I went, yeah, no problem, mate. Went in there and he said, so what are you going to do then? I said, I ain't paying it, mate. He said, then why aren't you paying it? I said, because you don't give me value for money. He said, is that all it is? I said, yeah. I said, you don't give me value for money. I said, it's be like me going into Tesco's, buying something or any other store and saying that I'll buy something for fucking 10 quid, it's shit. And the geezer says, well, it's shit, mate, but you're still paying a tenner. I'd say, yeah, I'll put it back on the shelf. That's what I'm saying to you. I did it in layman's terms so that he couldn't get too fucking convoluted with words. Do you understand me?
That's true.
And he went, I think we'll just leave you for now. We'll send you a letter. Never heard from him again. And then was it last year? No, the year before last. It was just before the COVID. I got the geezer. A geezer phoned me up, funny enough, and he said, "Oh, I'm about your council tax." I went, "Oh yeah, go on, mate." He said, "You haven't paid it." I went, "What? Which bit haven't I paid?" He went, "This year's council tax." I said, "You're missing about another fucking 6 years, mate. I haven't paid for. By then it was 6 years." I said, "I haven't paid for 6 years, mate." I said, "You think I'm going to start paying you now?" He got the same thing on the phone as the geezer got in a little room, and he said, "Oh, don't bother turning up at the court." He said, "I'll sort it all out from here."
Well, Dave, look, the point is this for the people at home and everyone as well. When you get a notice of liability, because they stop liability.
Yeah.
If you actually rung a magistrate's court and said there's a case number, firstly, can you check the name? They check the name. They say no, nothing. And you say that there must be, because I've got paperwork here. And they say, well, what's it with regard to? And then you say, well, it's regard to council tax. They will openly admit the magistrate's court, which is treasonous and seditious. They say the council hire our buildings and hire our people. Now,
yeah, but you see,
proper.
Dave, can I just say something? These things that people have put in there about negotiate, somebody else put in there, what was it, Chrissy Morris put in there, ask them if there's an obligation. I don't ask them nothing because I just tell them fuck off. Most people can understand that. Even the Chinese
he's
man
got the right attitude.
Pointing you up, and he's just come from China, and he went, mate, fuck off. It's an international language, isn't it? That bit, those two words.
Big time. Yeah, the Chinese bloke on the other end's going, he told me fuck off, and
exactly.
You all know what it means.
It's one thing that they all understand. No matter where you are in the world, everyone understands fuck off. It's an international fucking signal.
So what you're saying is, Dave, what you're saying is the people who actually, if you were taken to court, the people who are actually in the court are not magistrates.
Why would you go to the court? I don't even. I went because I was fucking intrigued to see what they say. They didn't want me in there.
This is, yeah, for educational purposes, the magistrates court will say the councils hire the rooms, they bring their own paperwork in, they get it rubber stamped, and they take their paperwork back to their own buildings. It's seditious and it's treasonous.
Right. So basically, no, we should just don't pay your council tax.
Yeah, you
It's
just gotta
subverting
be
the rule of law.
Listen, it's like anything in life, Mick. You know the fucking coup. You if you want to stand by your convictions, but here's the fucking rub, right? I'll take you back to last December when I had a heart attack, right? And when I went into Worthing Hospital, most people saw it on live because we was just starting live when I had to call the ambulance.
I was there. I see you.
And I live streamed it at Worthing Hospital when I got down there.
Yeah.
And one of our Loquacious Live people came down there. Sandra, bless her little cotton socks, and she was filming it all. And they were adamant that I had to have a COVID test to have my fucking stents done.
Yeah? I remember.
Bearing in mind I'm having a heart attack, right? Mate, I would rather fucking die than get involved in all that fucking cockwomblery. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And I said to the surgeon and the specialist in the little room, I said, listen, mate, let's fucking get something straight. You've got your belief. I've got my belief. You can stick yours up your ass and I'll keep mine to myself. How about that?
What they do? Go on with it.
They sent me home. Listen, this is the thing. They sent me home round about 11:30, 11:45 at night. Knowing full well that I needed stents. They knew by then I needed stents. Yeah. They said, but if we send you home, you could die. I said, that's your fucking business, mate, isn't it? That's not mine. Yeah. I can't make you do the stents no more than you can make me fucking have a COVID test. I said, so I'll grab a cab and I'll go home. And I went home. And 2 days later, I had another heart attack. Another ambulance was called. And I fucking went back to the hospital. They went, here comes a fucking lunatic. Let's get him in. Let's get his stents done and let's get him fucked off. And that's what they did.
Hang on, let's go back.
It's funny he's talking about that. We've got 33 people in the room.
Hang on a second. What you're saying? So basically, why are people getting bailiffs round because they pay their council tax?
Why? What?
Well, look, you can't. Listen, there is no case where bailiffs for council tax, because it's civil, they know it. You can't go to prison anymore, and they can't force entry, so they can knock at the door. That's it. End of.
Well, I mean, I'll feel sorry for the fella if they send one to my house. I'll feel sorry.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Well, look, this is what Cockney Patriot's coming from. He said to this guy yesterday, mate, I'm prepared to die today. I am fucking not putting up with your shit no more. One of us is going to go. And the bloke went, I'm not coming. I'm going to hand it back. See, this is the mentality we've got to have. And maybe this is when you assert your rights, when you're standing on your rights.
I don't pay
that's what that means.
I don't pay parking tickets. Good. I don't pay to go into London, the congestion charge. I don't pay the fucking ULEs and none of that. Stick it up your ass. Anyway,
good.
I pay my driving about through road tax and petrol. If you want to put anything else on and come and negotiate around the table, we'll be good with that. All right. But you're not doing a fucking one-way negotiation where you start telling me how much I'm paying. No. So I don't pay any of that. And a few years ago, about 10, I think it was 10 or 12 years. No, 10 years ago. I was at another gaff and I had a car registered there in my cockwomblery time. And there was loads of parking tickets on it. Bailiff turned up. I don't know. The door's gone. I opened the door. The Rottweiler was there. And I opened the door and he says, Mr. Swift. I went, yeah, who are you? He went, I'm a bailiff. I went, oh, yeah, what do you want, mate? He said, parking tickets. I said, how many do you want? And he said, no, I've come to collect money on parking tickets. I said, all right. I said, fucking good luck with that. And he put his foot in the door. I went, do yourself a favour, mate. Get your fucking foot out the door. And he wouldn't. And my missus pushed past me because she's a little bit more, she's not as calm as I am. And she pushed past me and slung him out the fucking door, straight on the grass. He went, I'm calling the police. And he called the police. The police turned up, bless their cotton socks. And she went, he fucking attacked me. I want him arrested. I went, yeah, he did. And they went, mate, you better go. They went, this fella is not the full ticket. And he fucked off. Never saw him again.
So you've got to treat these people.
I am prepared to die for my fucking own personal beliefs. Trust me.
Same as. Same as.
That's so what you're saying is nobody should pay the council tax, just don't pay.
And I will go to prison rather than fucking give up my.
These are all man-made up things. If you go back in the world up until prior 1930s, when we were all put on the table, because at that point we was all still private men and women, and only corporations and big things paid taxes, the industry, everything still cracked on. We private men and women were never ever supposed to be linked into this corporate system the way that we are. They should never be taking our houses, never be taking our kids, should never be taking our private property, cars, etc. And like I say, if another man can take your car because you've not fulfilled a financial obligation or filled out a piece of paper, and the whole system is pieces of paper, it's a complete mental fucking retardation. Then if they can come and take your stuff off, it was never yours in the first place. You didn't have it, it just wasn't yours. And that to me is
yeah,
a
but the
travesty.
fact of the matter is, Dave, it is. And if you're fucking prepared to literally fucking fight for it, if you get these morons to turn up,
No, you're right. You're right.
You're
right. You're right. You're right. It's intent. It's your intent.
Of course it is. And if there's one fucking bloke and you, it's your word against, isn't it? Who hit each other first or whatever happened, you know what I mean? But you would get as far as a foot in my house and that is it.
Yeah. A mate of mine, a mate of mine's ex-military, and he's got a little old deer next door. And he said, "You ever get trouble, you just call out. I'll be straight over." So she screams. He's come flying over the fence. He's gone in, seen this geezer in the hallway. He's roundhouse kicked him. The geezer's gone flying through the front door. He's out there, called the police. The police have turned up. They never arrested my mate or the bailiff. The bailiff went, never come back. But then this copper that was chatting with my mate, he come back 2 nights later and they had a good drink up and that together. And he said to my mate, he said, "If I was you," he said, "I'd have done the same." He said, "That bloke picking on that little old deer like that." He said,
wankers, mate. Absolute fucking wankers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This copper said to him on a private, they was having an evening, few beers and that. He said, "I'd have done the same, mate." He said, "Well done to you."
Yeah.
See, I what goes on in the system. Like my mate yesterday, Ved Chowdhury, and there's a Jamaican guy there, Michael. They both got arrested. Deb Sampson was there. I don't know whether they got the house, but the police are so. Look, in civil matters, the police shouldn't even be intervening. They shouldn't be help people break locks in. They should never be. You know, there's that old poem, The Ruined Tenement. It says, "This old cottage, the wind might blow through it and it might whistle, but still the king can't cross the threshold." And that's we should be there. That's what we should.
The reason why Matt's put the litter police, these G4S and other such fucking companies, Circa and all that, they now have got contractor councils, haven't they? They've not been in downtown for ages because I've chased them out a couple of times. And but yeah, they're looking for people smoking a fag, you know what I mean? Which I do like a fag, and they're throwing them on. One tried to get me, and she got told to fucking jog on. But yeah, you don't have to. If you do throw, I don't advise you to throw cigarettes on the floor because it's not fucking good anyway. I just happened to miss a drain. That's what I did. I missed the drain hole, and I didn't realise. And she was a couple of steps behind me and my pal, and she got told to fucking jog on, which she did, and eventually, and we went for breakfast. But if you do generally drop a cigarette on the floor, if you pick that cigarette up, you've done nothing fucking wrong. That's all right. You've got to do is pick it up. They've got no powers of arrest. They've got no powers of detainment. They can phone their fucking mums, their grannies, their aunties, their uncles, and the old bill. There's nothing they can fucking do.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you there's something that's just about to come out. I was reading yesterday and today. The NHS are now liable for £90 billion of people for people over the way that babies and mothers have been treated and the negligence that's gone on.
Yeah, we did it all on the Loquacious Live about a month or so ago.
Yeah. But now it's been. It's not just a dream. That's what it is. And the NHS that's a third of their budget.
I think Matt, I tell you, he might bring it up. I think it was Leicester was the biggest one.
There's 7 million people waiting for operations.
Well, they're telling you that they're on top of it now, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to
send 2 years now, so fuck off.
It's a joke. It's gone too far. I mean, at some point, there's going to have to be some common sense prevail for all of this.
I don't think it will, Dave. In all fairness, mate, I think what people have got to do is get on with your lives. Stop worrying about all the cockwombery and stuff that you can't fucking change. Yeah, there's a little saying that goes with that, isn't there? Change what you can and don't worry about what you can't. It's a bit more convoluted than that. And just fucking live your lives, you know what I mean? A pal of mine died on Tuesday, one of my best fucking mates, one of them off of this hand, right? He was 49 fucking years old and died of a heart attack. Bang. Big Bob. And you got to live your fucking lives, mate. And it's that for what happened to Big Bob has been a big wake-up call for Clive Spencer, because Clive could do with shedding a few fucking pounds, right? Big Bob, well, they called him Big Bob for a fucking reason. He was 6'7" and 20 fucking 8 stone. And of course, his heart was never going to make that. But he lived every fucking day as if it was his last. Always did do. Loved his fucking dinners, obviously, and his breakfast and his teas and everything in between. You got to stop worrying about fucking whether the earth's flat round, what they're spraying in the fucking airs, all that, because there's nothing you're going to do about it. No one's going over to take over Parliament any day soon, and they ain't going to fucking walk out of there, and no one's going to be dragging them out. So I would crack on, live your lives as best you fucking can, enjoy yourself, get your 2 weeks away when you can, and look out for one another. That's my advice.
Yeah, the thing is, Dave, that's a great thing. You're absolutely right, and that'd be lovely. But the realization is that you can't do it. They're increasingly trying to stop you doing what you want to do. They're trying to stop you having cars.
That game's always been there, mate. It's always been. It's always been.
Yeah, but it's more apparent. It's more apparent. You've got some little fuckface, suck dick cunt in London who wants to now. Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
No, he wasn't jabbed Cockney. No, he wasn't.
Who actually wants to stop people drive, and they say over 50% of people in London they don't want people driving cars. Well, you know, there's 10 million, 12 million people in London. 6 million do. 6 million rely on their cars. Nurses, policemen, firemen, builders, Dave, people like that. Everybody needs a car to get to work, and he's going to charge you £12.50 a day to run your car in London. £12.50. If you're
let
London,
me just.
I shouldn't say the word stupid because that's not right. Because what they do is they put the fear of God in people, don't they? By what Dave just said, sending the bailiffs round, etc. You know what I mean? All sorts of fucking menacing letters, and it does put the EBGBs up your average fucking Joe, and they know that, don't they?
Yeah, that's what and they frighten you.
The average Joe's going to pay it. Let them fucking pay it. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't affect your life.
They pay nothing. As somebody just made a point earlier, you can't be put in prison for debt.
There's Jesus Jones says, Christian Morris, but you can put your property in a private trust. Guys, listen, unless you've got back your Dominion interest, you private trust. I've been in court with Bob Fiddler years ago, who built the house behind the bales of hay between the two corn silos. And Bob told the judge he had his house in a private trust, this, that, the other, and they just fucking ignored him. You've got to understand you're dealing with rogues. These judges are rogues. They're mafia.
Yeah, but Dave, that's what I was saying earlier about.
Fucking hell, Matt's selling GDH on your live, Dave.
Yeah, but all the things we believe in, all the things we believe in, they're just riding roughshod over us.
Matt Everett's selling GDH hair straighteners and hair dryers on your live. Listen,
Go on,
just
son,
quickly,
he's
I'll tell you what happened to Matt, shall I? Him and his partner, right? Him and his partner's an hairdresser, right? Anyway, they gets involved with this fella who opens up within 2 months 4 or 5 hairdressers, 2 in Wales, 1 in Wolverhampton, 1 in Stoke, right? As if he's won the lottery, this fella. Anyway, cut a long story short, he's a fucking con man known throughout Interpol. Okay, he's turned over loads of big firms and all that. And he's used money that obviously he's turned over from people, big lump of cash, and he's thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll open hairdressers and go a little bit legit. And anyway, it's come on top. He hasn't paid all his staff. So Matt said, what shall I do, Dave? He owes my Ryan £2,000 wages. I said, go and empty the fucking salon, mate. So he did. So he's got loads of GDH for sale. And the geezer who owns the salon where Matt lives phoned Matt up and said, Matt, would you like to take over the salon that this geezer's fucking run away from? I'll give you 6 months free rent.
Oh, what's he going to do?
Oh, brilliant.
He's opened it. He opened on Monday. I think they've done 2.5 free grand this week. So,
well done,
fucking Matt. Welcome to the world of fucking earning money, mate.
Well, that's we're all trying to make a living, aren't we?
Exactly. And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? They're both they're a young couple. They're in their 30s. You know what I mean? They've got their first business, bless the little cotton socks. And he's earned his wages and fucking crack on, mate.
I tell you what, the thing is, I've asked about 3 people now, because I sit around doing nothing all day. And I was talking to a couple of guys. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "You ever want anybody to do anything?" I said, "I'm just sitting around doing nothing." He said, "How old are you?" I'm 71. He went, "Oh no." I said, "No." He said, "He couldn't do what we do." I said, "Why is that then?" I said, "I'm probably about the best driver you'll ever fucking meet. I'm a security trained driver." I said, "I can drive the wheels off any fucking car you might have." He went, and he said, "We want professionals to deliver our cars." I said, "Professional what?" I said, "I used to own London's biggest limousine company."
Don't you do nothing at all, Mike, in all honesty?
No, I can't find it. Nobody wants to give me a job. They'll say to me, "You don't need the money." I said, "It's not about that."
What about a bit of Amazon a couple of times a week?
I
could just
don't speak the language.
Fucking 10 flights of stairs.
I don't speak the language.
You don't speak Amazon?
No, I don't speak. What's the word? I don't speak. I speak English. If you've got to be on Amazon, you can't.
You'd probably be a supervisor in weeks. You know what I mean?
I'd be really good at it. I'm good at manager.
Learn a bit of fucking Urdu, you'd be laughing.
I'm the manager. Well, I was the manager. I've always been since I was 25.
71, you should be putting your feet up, Mike, shouldn't you? You know what I mean? Let the youngsters have a go, like Matt and that.
No, I don't know. I just don't want to sit around doing nothing.
No, it's hard, mate. That's why I still get involved with the shop and stuff like that a couple of times a week.
Yeah,
It just keeps your hand in the till, doesn't it?
You got nothing to do. You just sit.
You can't. We did it. I managed 5 years doing absolutely fuck all but travel. We did all of Asia and all that fucking bollocks, Africa and everything. Living in hotels. 5 years we managed. Fuck this.
You got brain
do it for life. I don't know.
Well, I lived in Thailand for 3 months a year, and after 6 weeks, I was thinking, why should I come over?
We did 2 years in Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam.
No, I did Cambodia,
just going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, so you can do. I did 1 year. I did 27 internal flights.
Loved it.
3 months, just because I was bored shitless.
If you go to the police station, you can get a free internal.
Exactly. Or nip out from Dover, you can get a free hotel, but it's only in this country, evidently. They're not sending you to Rwanda now.
I'm going to start throwing babies around next week. Get the old babies, start throwing them around. See how long it takes social services to get down here.
But if things don't change, they'll stay the same.
Well, yeah. Well, there was some truth in that sometimes, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. He's right. That is a truth. If things will stay the same,
there's no good crying over spilt milk.
I see a different side. I think people are going to be forced into having to make changes soon and see. So I mean, everywhere you go now, someone's talking about something. So yeah, I don't know. Even in the unseen realms, it's going to change. Trust me, that's what we're here for. We're making the change happen.
Did a geezer sing a song about that?
Hey,
the times they are a changing. Didn't he sing something like that?
Oh, that's Bob Dylan.
Well,
that is him, Bob Dylan. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Bob the Builder.
Oh, Matt's Matt, sorry guys, don't adjust your sets at home. And Matt said he's going to send free earplugs around to anyone who needs them.
Yeah, there you go.
Where in Thailand?
Well,
I was in Phuket, Patong Beach.
Yeah, I don't do all that. I go for
Chiang Mai,
Monkey Island and all that bollocks.
Yeah, Cockney Patriot. I was all coming out now, the land. Mike, I said to Cockney Patriot.
The Thai boys.
Yeah.
When I said to Cockney Patriot, when he gets his boat in the water, you've asked if we can have a couple of royal flags as we go up the Thames in it. And he's like, he said, fuck that. He said, fuck that. He says.
well, yeah, we're still waiting for us. We've got all these people offering to take us out on boats, but we haven't had any invites, have we? They haven't to give us a date.
He's polishing his roof. He's dyeing the roof at the moment.
Is he what
and I make Aurora Storm. Aurora Storm's right. We're in a spiritual war, and whether you believe or you don't believe, you're taking your part in that.
What continent's that on, Yeshu?
Yeshua, that's Jesus.
Who is it?
Yeshua is Jesus.
Jesus.
How is it?
Yeah.
Yeshua.
Oh, right.
Yeshua HaMashiach.
You learn something every day.
It's Sanskrit.
And the thing is, right?
I'm an atheist, so it's not over important to me.
Yeah, that's one of the devil's biggest tricks, to convince you all that nothing is there.
He never convinced me of fuck all, mate. I've done it all on my own, mate, with this.
He's the master of deception and confusion.
I was 7. I was 7. I went to Sunday school from the age of, I was nearly 5 when we started going. And by the time I was 7, I come home and said to my mum and dad one day, I've worked it out, it ain't for me.
Cockney says you can fly the flag out your bumhole. There you go.
Go on. But listen, believe in what you like. If it gets you through your week, your day, your month, your year, or whatever, you know what I mean? You've got to believe in pictures at the end of your garden and go and talk to them, hug a fucking tree, whatever.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean,
do you know what, Dave? Right?
No harm, no loss, no injury. That's the one.
No, when I've been and seen spiritualists in the past, it's always you always get the biggest messages from people from the spirit side are the ones that didn't believe that there was an afterlife, because it takes everyone by surprise.
I got a phone call yesterday. Yesterday was Wednesday. We did our Loquacious Live. I was just in the studio like we are now. 10 to 8, I think, 7:45, the phone rang. And somebody went, I've got a message for you. I said, who from? They said, Big Bob. I thought, fucking hell, he only died fucking 12 hours ago. He's fucking talking to people already. He never talked that much when he was fucking live.
And what was the message?
Can I just make a point here? Yesterday, I don't know, my daughter sent me something. I don't know if I sent you, Dave. And these were guys, these were ghost hunters. Right, and they, like me, and not frightened of ghosts, nothing like that. Nobody bothers me like that. So they got film. They've got the machine that detects atmospheric pressure, which can detect. And they've got a teddy bear, little tiny teddy bear, and they're saying to the spirit, "Move, come on, spirit, move this teddy bear, and fuck me, the teddy bear fell over."
Send it to me.
I'll get it out. I'll try to find it.
You know these spirits that come through, because I do listen to the cockwomblery that this person talks. And to me, it's cockwomblery. That's no disrespect to those who believe in it. Whatever you want to believe in, believe in. As long as you don't cause no harm, no loss, no injury, you're fucking sweet with me. So when I say no injury, I mean no injury like fucking nicking money off of people and charging people a tenner because they've got a fucking message for you. You know what I mean? But none of the bad spirits, Dave, because you're into a bit of this. Jimmy Savile never sends a message, does he? Or any of that lot?
I get where you're going.
Why don't none of them not send messages? You think they want to fucking they want to clear their conscience a little bit?
No, you're misconstruing that. Yeah. If you was friendly with Jimmy Savile or in his family circle, when you went and see a spiritualist, you might get a message from Jimmy.
Right, hang on.
You're not going to get a message from a complete stranger, are you? It's normally your family and your friends that you've lost come through, and it's personal to you. Like Mike would get a different reading from me. So your logic and rationale to what you just said.
No, I'm not saying that they don't. I'm saying you never hear about it.
No, well, unless go on.
Let me try and play this clip.
No, I'll get you saying.
I'm not sure where you can see.
Go on, then.
Hang on.
We're getting all spooky now because that's that time of year coming, isn't it? Halloween and all that.
No, okay, right. I'll try and turn. Hang on. I'm not sure.
Go on, Mike.
We've got 7 minutes left anyway.
Now I know why he's fucking unemployed.
It's a minute or so. One second.
Yeah, go on.
So bear with, right? Oh, hang on. Hang on.
Try the volume up.
Yeah, I'm trying to,
Go on, son.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, he's not very good with VT.
Yeah, I'm not very good with any fucking thing. Now,
he's got zero fucking genes of Bill Gates, that's for fucking sure.
Tell me about it. Hang on. Just bear with. I just got to find it again.
Even his computers had viruses.
Basically, this thing is... well, come on.
It's not playing.
It's not
going.
Hang on.
Go on, mate. We've got all the fake
it's
you need a good chat with Matt Everard. He'll sort you out.
Yeah, you tell him, Dave.
I can't understand why the thing's gone. I don't know why it's not.
£25 an hour.
So look, forget. When it comes to technical, but just don't. What he's saying is, this was filmed in an empty nuclear bunker. Okay, and this is. Just watch the film. Just watch the film.
Are we going to watch the film?
I'm intrigued now.
Oh, this is a bit of crack. Look. Go on, go over it. That's it. That's it. Hold it. Keep there. We're just watching the film. It's silent. For those at home who can't hear.
Yeah, what he's saying is this was filmed in a nuclear bunker, okay, and it's the most amazing look. Now watch. What they're doing is
you're turning the angle slightly.
Gotta get the screen on. Can't see
the there, Mike.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, it's gone blank, mate.
No,
it's fucking dark in that nuclear bunker, son. It's like the black hole at Calcutta.
Oh, we got a green and white screen. I was so looking forward to that.
Go on, explain it to us then. What happens, Mike? Because I'm really intrigued now.
Basically, the little Teddy. You see, I don't know why. I really don't know why it's not coming. Let's see if it comes up now.
The spirits, mate. They're fucking cutting it all out.
Perhaps you got it from Hunter.
Yeah, there, Mike. You got it.
Right. See the little Teddy.
Right. Oh yeah, I see the little Teddy to his left.
What he's saying is this was filmed in a nuclear bunker.
The little Teddy's gone now.
They're calling out to I don't know what's happening here.
Who are they calling out to, Mick?
They're calling out to a spirit.
Oh yeah. JD or vodka?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, isn't it? Oh fucking hell, I can't.
I'll tell you what, Dave, I'd love you to go and see a couple of times. Go your way.
I don't know what. I just wonder why this won't play, because it played. I just don't know.
Listen, you have to be interested in it, Dave, don't you? And I'm not fucking.
Anyway, so basically, what you see is
I've got loads of time to go and see the spirit world, mate, and that'll be fucking right at the end of it all. I'll go and join them. Oh yeah, this is all the Cop One Warrior I was talking about. Woo!
It's on TikTok. This is, and it's really annoying me now because
he's got a bee under his bonnet now.
Yeah, it really has annoyed me. And
fucking hell, he gets quiet when he's annoyed, doesn't he?
The bear must be touched physically. We've had the tag on its head, right? And just before I show you the video, it's called Ghost. The page is called Ghost Trip Investigation, and they investigate paranormal locations all over the place, right? And this is what they do. Anyway, so I'm not.
Is it on YouTube?
It's on TikTok. Let's have a look.
Fucking hell, he's TikToking. You're allowed on TikTok.
We've got 3 minutes, lads. We've got 3 minutes. I'm not going to be late tonight. I've got to go to work tomorrow.
Go on, tell him, Dave. Here we are. He's having another go.
We've got 3 minutes left. I'm not going to be late tonight.
I can fucking see one. No.
Can you see that? Can you see the big flash?
Probably don't work through screen.
Did you see the Teddy fall over?
Yeah, of course I saw the Teddy.
That Teddy fell over, and it was done by spirit. That's a fact.
Yeah, I've fallen over a few times due to spirit.
Yeah, but that's rum.
No, normally fucking Jack Daniels or a nice whiskey.
No, I can't drink Jack Daniels. It takes me nuts. But I've got to tell you, that is probably. I've seen ghosts. I mean, in Marmot Road there was a couple of ghosts, and I have to say.
Vesper Martinez, darling. And why not?
I've gone gay. I've gone gay.
He needs to crack. I do like. I've got a lot of time for spear throws to fucking crack.
Anyway, so are we all agreed we're going to meet up and have a pie mash in or what?
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's Western Road or something, actually.
Whatever you like.
Western Road. So it's SE17 is where I went.
Yeah, SE17. Yeah, it was the Armits. It's one of the best in London.
Yeah, fucking mate. It's the first time I've been in there.
Armits is nice.
We do South London. It's full of cotwombles.
Yeah. Well, I'm South London. Dave's a South London.
What's your closing gambits, ladies and gentlemen, before we disappear?
I can't follow Swifty because there's no point. So
what did you say, Dave? One more.
What's your closing gambits? What's your closing gambits before our show?
I love you all, even those who don't love me. A bitter pill to swallow. Get it down your fucking neck.
Absolutely right.
Love
the old golden throat charmer. Yeah, I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned, let's hope whatever happens in the next couple of months, we all come out smiling because we can't live like this. This is like bullshit. I mean, we're all sitting
the Croatia's live tomorrow night, 2000 hours.
2000 hours, ladies and gentlemen.
He won't let us on.
Come and get your DGH fucking hair straighteners. Not that I need them. I need hair putter on us.
All right. Well, look, it's been great. Isn't it? And it's been a laugh. It's good. I'm glad you're on, Dave. It was good to have you on, mate. It really was because it's always good.
Yeah, lovely.
Because because of the stuff you two do, it's completely different to what we do on our fucking show. Ours is mainly fucking bollocks and banter. But I do find some of it interesting, of course, you know what I mean? And I like the fact that we can all part as good friends, go and have pie and mash, and agree to disagree on certain things.
That's what people do. That's what people do.
That's how grown-ups work.
Then have a row and sit them and go down for a curry. That's it. Move on. Exactly. If you don't get the
Sleep
stuff out
tight, and we'll see you all next week. God bless every single one of you. We'll see you soon.